John Hinderaker, thank you so much for joining me. What's just happened in New Hampshire?
Well, Andrew, on the Republican side, the polls once again held true, and Donald Trump beat Nikki Haley, really his last significant competitor, pretty handily. The last numbers I've seen, 56% to 43%, a 13-point margin. On the Democrat side, there was a write-in campaign mounted for Joe Biden. And this is an opportunity for Dean Phillips, the congressman from my state, Minnesota, to try to really make a good showing. But it didn't happen. Joe Biden is getting about 67% of the vote with write-ins, and Dean Phillips only about 20%.
20% is not bad, but he's going absolutely nowhere. But let's stick with Donald Trump's win. Now, people will say, well, Nikki Haley's vote, I mean, in the 40s, that's pretty good. But they forget that New Hampshire is, in fact, a very left-wing state, and people who aren't Republicans could also vote in it. So, that bumped up her figures. The rest of the country is looking pretty dire for her. She still says, I'm in it. There's still other states to go. I'm not finished. But she is, isn't she?
Andrew, you're exactly right. New Hampshire was actually Nikki Haley's best state, her best chance. She spent a lot of time there, a lot of money there. She had some strong support from local New Hampshire politicians. And nevertheless, she didn't come close. And anybody running against Donald Trump this year has to be discouraged, as, of course, Ron DeSantis was, by the fact that the polls are holding true. Polling in primary races is very volatile, sometimes is quite inaccurate. But this year, the polls showing Donald Trump winning are 2 for 2, and it's very hard to see a path to victory for Nikki Haley.
Now, summing up, how does this look now to you, the whole race? Because it seems to me quite clear Donald Trump, barring accidents, death, jail, whatever, will challenge Joe Biden for the presidency in November. Is that how you see it, and how do you expect it to end?
Andrew, it's really crazy. This is the race that nobody wanted to see. If you look at the polls, very, very few Americans wanted a rematch of 2020 with Joe Biden and Donald Trump. The Democrats would love to get rid of Joe Biden, but they can't do it. And it looks like, once again, we're going to have Joe Biden and Donald Trump.
Well, but who will win that contest then? I mean, they say they don't want it, but Donald Trump's been an unstoppable force. And I wonder if he's unstoppable come the November election.
Well, we'll see, Andrew. Joe Biden's record is so terrible, and his lack of fitness, his dementia, his frailness, so obvious. I have a very hard time seeing how Joe Biden can be reelected. At the same time, there's a lot of people in this country who would vote for Satan before they'll vote for Donald Trump. So this shapes up as a race. It's hard to see how either candidate can win it, and yet one of them is going to. If I had to guess right now, I'd guess Donald Trump.
John Hinderaker, thank you so much indeed for your time. I really appreciate it.
Great to be with you, Andrew.